Captain's Log, Stardate 8372.8. After discovering that the Orion merchant known as Vezzok is a notorious slave trader, the Argo has left the Vezzok system and is en route for Zostra near the Tholian border. During our time in Vezzok's port, Commander Wartburg managed to convince an enslaved woman to escape to the Argo. While she appears human, Athea is at least partly Zostran, an unknown species who, at least in her case, appear to have some level of psychic ability. She claims to have used this ability to restore suppressed memories to Commander Wartburg. The only problem is these memories conflict with those of the past year or so shared by Wartburg with the rest of us. So either Athea has implanted false memories into Wolfgang for her own purposes, or the memories that I and the rest of the crew have of the past year are somehow false, or at least incomplete. Further, Athea claims that her use of these powers has drawn the attention of a group of entities she calls the Dark Ones, an unsettling sobriquet to say the least. Moreover, she says that the only place she will be safe from these forces is her homeworld. So we are headed there at the Argo's best possible speed. Hopefully we'll be able to get to the bottom of all this, conflicting memories, Dark Ones, and the Zostrans themselves. There are at least a couple of mysteries here, and I want very much to unravel them all. Unfortunately, this means that Minister Chephalia and General Shran are in for a longer absence from Andon's Landing than they may have bargained for. Well, the minister wanted an adventure, and it looks like she's gotten one. End log.
All right, we will cut to the bridge of the Argo as you're currently heading at your best possible speed towards Zostra. Um, you guys can take this time, if you like, to try and gain more information or a little bit
Yes,
of free role play. But we are kind of semi picking up where we left off a little bit.
yes, I would very much like some more information on Zostra if there is any to be had.
Uh, General Shran would like to meet with the captain sometime.
Sure. Where is Wolfgang? Is he on the bridge? Are you still in sickbay,
He's
or what's
still in sick bay under quarantine.
fair enough? Haggard to Wartburg.
Wartburg here, sir.
How are you feeling, Commander?
Uh, I'm feeling fine, actually. A little disoriented, but I think I'm fit for duty. Besides, the smoke screen isn't really needed anymore at this rate.
Excellent. I need to know whatever information we can dig up on these Zostrans. Also, probably a longer project, it would be interesting to find out exactly how your new memories conflict and counter your old ones.
Yeah, Captain. I'm going to go over the stardate, see how far back this goes, and try to fill out a report. It'll probably take some time, though.
Yeah, that's a higher priority is the threat level posed by these dark ones and what we can expect to find once we reach Zostra. Any information you can get about either of those from whatever sources would be most appreciated.
How long till we reach the planet, sir?
GM?
6 days.
right, number one, get me what information you can when you can.
Aye, sir.
Here, tell General Schran that I can meet with him in my ready room at his convenience. Mr. Chitre, you have the bridge.
Lieutenant Mayor to General Schran.
Yes.
General, the captain said he can meet you at your earliest convenience in his ready room.
Thank you.
The captain make himself a fresh cup of coffee and start working on the log about the trade negotiations.
I'll buzz the door.
Come in. Ah, General, please have a seat. I understand. No, sorry. Go ahead.
I came here hoping you could inform me of what your plan is, because I assume that you did not just blow up a trade deal promising my people lots of economic incentives for one slave on a world full of slaves. I'm assuming that you have a grand plan. You're going to form a task force, and with the help of maybe my 2 battalions of Andorian Guard, we're going to liberate the planet and save all the people. Or is it the case that there is no plan, and we're just going to leave all those people to suffer and not get the trade deal?
Well, I'm certainly not making any deals with the likes of Vezzok. You can rest assured of that. And there's no way that somebody like that is getting a bunch of dilithium.
But we're
dilithium
going to leave
reintegrators.
them to their own devices still.
Well, we'll see what we'll see. For now, though, we've got to get this person that Commander von Wartburg convinced to escape back to her homeworld. Apparently, her presence may constitute some kind of threat, at least to her. So the sooner we've got her dropped off at her homeworld, the better.
There are affairs of an entire colony and maybe a planet full of slaves in the balance, and we're worried about one person and their need to get home.
Let's just say that Athea has proven to be a bit more than she seems, although the extent of that is not quite clear at this time. But she may look human, but apparently her ancestry and lineage go well beyond Earth and human abilities. As to Vezzok's little outpost there, I have a feeling that that will be dealt with by forces outside of the Federation, at least if my information has the effect on a certain organization I know of. I don't think Vezzok will be in business for terribly much longer. And believe me, that being the case, the people who will then be controlling his resources will be, well, they'll still be dealing sharply, but they'll make much better trade partners.
I am not at all pleased by the free-flowing nature of your decision-making. It would be nice if some of us were included on decisions such as these.
Well, considering that it violates every piece of Federation law to engage in trade with slave dealers, one might say that I've saved you from quite an embarrassing contretemps vis-a-vis this Vezzok character. And as for using Federation starship and Federation forces to uh, invade a planet outside of Federation territory, well, that's kind of a no-no as well, which is why I have let third parties have the information necessary to disrupt Vezzok's operations.
This
Uh,
is the complaint I have. It's so bad that we can't treat with them, but it's not bad enough that we can't solve the problem. So we just screw over Andon's Landing in the process.
oh, we haven't stopped our search for sources for Andon's Landing supply. Just Vezzok is not going to be that source. And from a certain perspective, I have solved this terrible problem by uh, diplomatic means, if you will, with an information exchange with a power that has an interest in taking care of that problem.
Oh, someone else is going to do the invading for us, so we're clean.
That's one way of putting it. Starfleet Command's not going to let me invade a planet, General. But some things that happens outside of our borders that we have no really obvious connection with, that's fine. Surely a soldier and student of history such as yourself must realize that sometimes this is how affairs have to be conducted. And honestly, Vezzok was more likely to get what he deserves from these third parties than he is from a long sentence in a Federation prison planet.
If it is wrong for us to do it, it is wrong for them to do it. If it is not wrong for them to do it, it is not wrong for us to do it. Either the invasion is immoral and should not be done, or it is not, and it should be.
Oh, the invasion itself is not immoral. It is merely illegal in terms of it being uh, Federation who does the invading.
Why?
Well, you'll have to take that up with the Federation Council, I'm afraid, General, or at least with Starfleet Command. Um, we are not in the habit of launching invasions on those who, at least there's no evidence of Vezzok ever having conducted his operations in Federation space or in having conducted any illegal operations in Federation space whatsoever. After all, none of the ships we scanned matched up with any of the pirates that had raided Andon's Landing. So, from an interstellar perspective, it would appear that if we went in there guns blazing, as it were, that we had assaulted an quote unquote innocent uh, world in order to gain its resources. And the domino effect of that, in terms of Starfleet and Federation relations with other uh, polities, could be disastrous, not to mention how the Klingons and even the Romulans might react. So, yes, while subterfuge and underhanded dealings are not exactly the way I tend to enjoy going about things, I've learned enough in my career that to know that sometimes it's the best way to handle these kind of ugly situations. In any event, rest assured that I have not given up on trying to find sources of supply for Andon's Landing. Likely it won't be anything as close as Vezzok's would have been, but again, that opportunity may swing back around when the regime changes. But, well, there are other options that we can look into. I assure you, I have not in any regard forgotten my responsibilities to Andon's Landing. Now, is there anything else I can do for you, General? Or for the Minister?
No. I don't believe you can.
Tiger kind of leans back on his chair and goes, well, that went about like I expected it to. Mr. Chitre, run a library computer search on the term Dark Ones. See if anything turns up.
Captain, would you have any narrowing parameters? Dark Ones will likely come up in a variety of cultures and mythologies.
Fair enough. See if you can find cross-reference with Zostra, Zostra system, Zostrans. See, I know it's a fishing trip, Mr. Chitre, but see what you can catch.
Aye, sir. Chitre will attempt to do just that.
Reason plus science, difficulty of, we'll say 1 for this, suspended computer science.
Research focus?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of data.
Plus the ship?
What's ship assisting with computer science?
Yes, computer science.
Oops, too many. Hmm. Um. Captain, it's Dark Ones appears even with some bit of narrowing for relevance. We are looking at about 157, give or take, religious and mythological texts from a variety of species. I did try to narrow it to the local space grid, the Grazer sector, and adjoining sectors that we know of, or cultures that we know of. Part of the problem is a lack of a narrowing factor, and partly it's the lack of information we have in this area. This may be a new cultural touchstone since we're unfamiliar with this Zostran society.
Mira, you you studied I don't know how to say that. Mira, you specialize in cultural studies, do you not?
Yes, Captain.
Look over the information that Trey has gotten together and see if you can put together any kind of similarities across the different cultures and species that are telling these tales. Anything that might indicate that if there is a basis in fact that they're coming from a shared source. If there might be any reason to believe, and limit it to the sector of space, the Grazer sectors. Is Zostra still in the Grazer sector, GM?
No.
Okay, what sector is it in?
That is a good question because it's not really named.
It's probably like grid, sector grid, beta, alpha 2Z or something like that. Like it's otherwise non-specified.
Because most of the sector lies within Tholian space. There's very
we've got
small
anything
part.
coming out of grid, blah 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 blah. Cross-reference it there. Widen it to the Grazer sector if you had to, but exclude anything coming from out of those two sectors at the least.
I'll try, Captain, but I mean, this could take months. If there is such a connection.
Understood. Just do what you can. You never know what you might pick up.
Perhaps if we compare with Tholian cultures and their client states, that might. Maybe we'll hear stories from the other side, what little we've been able to gather.
Do we have enough information on the Tholians and their client states to run such a comparison?
Not really.
Well, the two of you work together. See if you can suss anything out. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Haran, start delving into the star charts and see if there might be other trade possibilities within a reasonable distance of Andon's Landing, where they can find the supplies they need, particularly geranium, to complete the dome.
Aye, Captain. And we'll cut down to the sick bay.
Miss Althea, I believe we can arrange for other quarters for you aboard, since we don't have to keep up this charade anymore. As you heard, my captain would like to hear more information about your people in these dark ones so we can formulate a plan as to how we're going to help you deal with them or protect the ship in case they intercept us. Or flee from them, as the case may be.
My advice, run. But a set of quarters would be fine. Is there a can I have like some change of clothes?
Certainly. I'll have at your leisure. I'm going to get someone to bring you some clothes, and when you're ready, I can show you to your quarters. And if you're feeling up to it, I would like to talk to you at length about your people and the species. You'd be surprised what simple little things may actually be of great use to us. If you wouldn't mind, I'll be right back, okay?
Of course.
No, right, the door's closed. Doctor, the quarantine is to be lifted as the need for it is no longer required. Also, our guest here would like a fresh set of clothes.
Standard quarantine procedures for at least another 24 hours, Commander.
Doctor, you do realize that was a farce, right?
A ruse, even.
One can't be too cautious when dealing with other species, Commander.
Doctor, you have a medical reason as to why to confine this guest to this room?
No, but we'll need to do a thorough examination to just be on the safe side, Commander.
So, Doctor, you didn't do a thorough examination when you scanned her during the surgery?
More post-op stuff. Yeah.
Get the clothes, please, in that case. I believe you can be entered into a quarantined area, since I imagine the good lady does not want to walk about in slaver's clothes. Nor do I think the captain would find it very amusing if she was forced to wear them longer than she had to.
Of course, Commander.
Let's go. The button just glares at it like he really wishes there was little view screens in these things. As upset as I am, the doctors have a point. When a new life form is brought aboard ship, it is customarily one examines the new species to ensure that they are not a biohazard to anyone else aboard the ship. And they should be getting you the clothes quickly. Apologies for the wait. Hello, Nurse Blackford.
Hello, Commander. These are for you. And just hold still, Commander.
Why?
She takes out her tricorder and just starts scanning you.
Folds his arms.
Well, you're good to go. No pathogen that we can detect. Just if you feel ill or any unknown, other side effects, just let us know. Or maybe isolate yourself, practice social distancing.
Well, nurse, I can admit that I have a new set of memories currently, so that may be a neurological symptom.
Oh, perhaps you need to talk with the lab about that.
And you might want to try scanning my head next time, nurse.
To be frank, Commander, I'm more concerned about pathogens, viruses, bacteria, the
Which
biofilters.
also infiltrate into the brain, especially when it comes from a xenological source.
Well, I mean, I scanned your entire body. I don't look at memory engrams and stuff like that, but there's no pathogens, Commander.
Please set me up an appointment with Dr. Avalot, please.
Of course.
Thank you, nurse. And am I safe to leave the room and wait for her for your examination? I don't think it's very polite for me to stay in the room.
Yes, you're clear.
Thank you, nurse. I'll just be in the other room if you need me. The medical personnel aboard are very good at their job.
And he just she nods.
I imagine Blackbird at that point probably, probably one of the doctors would scan her for examination unless the Althea doesn't want to be scanned.
They can, yeah.
Do we want Blackbird to do it? What's her focuses? Hey, Blackbird, get out of there.
I mean, she's the only.
Wash your hands.
Nothing.
She's the only what? Oh, female. Never mind. In that case, yeah, she'll have to do it on her own because we don't have another. I've obviously the only other female officer aboard. She's a psychologist. Well, she wants to get a mind meld. But a psychiatrist, I should say.
Reason medicine. Difficulty of 1.
Oh, I'll mark that she's used. Third act. The date is I think I know what focus to add because you kept bringing it up. Pathology as a focus. That's not gonna help with the scan. That's just funny because it makes sense.
She's a dentist, though.
Hey, you can cross train. Kind of have to on Starfleet ships. Buying a die.
Pathology.
Huh? Dental pathology.
Dental pathology. Gum disease. You don't know, man. You don't know.
I mean,
Good job, Blackbird.
Yeah, 3 momentum. She appears to be a normal human woman in her early 30s.
So you say that you're a. I've been told that you're a Zostran?
No, That's not what we call ourselves.
Oh. Well, what do you call yourselves?
Zoszek.
Zoszek. Zoszek. There. Well, according to my scans, you do seem to appear to be a human. Are most of the Zoszek humans as well, or are you a variety of species?
Let's say there's more to us than meets the eye.
I don't know if this will cause a momentum or not, but does she actually check? Does there anything about her body suggest that she has like weird germs or other biologicals in her body that might make other people sick, other humans sick?
I will give it to you free. There are no other. There are other germs in her system, but most of them were typically would have been found where she was currently at, where you picked her up from. But most part, she's healthy. Any sort of underlining diseases have either been cured or her gut bacteria might be slightly different than most humans, but that could be her diet.
All right. If you don't mind, would you open your mouth very wide for me?
Why?
I'm checking your teeth.
Oh. Uh,
Is there any suicide pills in there or no? But no, it's just part of her. She probably would have done that as part of her examination. It's just she has an extra step that everyone else doesn't bother with. Like, you don't have to do a visual inspection. Yes, I do.
teeth are in perfect pearl whites.
Oh, looks like they put veneers on your teeth. Strange. Well, makes sense, I guess. Any complaints? Anything sore or hurt anywhere?
No.
All right, then. You look perfectly healthy to me. But if you feel at all ill or feel a little strange, be sure to let us know and we'll sort you out as quickly as we can.
Okay. Do I change here?
I think you would prefer to. This room's private, and if you need any assistance, I can help you. Or I can leave if that make you feel more comfortable.
No, it's fine. I'm just gonna step over here. She changes her clothes. We'll say you notice Black River noticed that she leaves a particular necklace on her neck.
So try to make note of it in her in her notes, because it's something that she'll recognize as she kept that on purpose, like she didn't forget to. What would you like done with your old clothes?
You can disintegrate them if you want. Burn them. I have no quarrel with or desire to keep them.
Oh, we'll make sure to recycle them and get some use out of them. Better use out of them.
If you can.
Matters matter once you break it down. Now, teeth, on the other hand, that's hard to grow back. So be sure to take care of those.
I will, and I'll remember to floss.
You know what flossing? No, I'm just kidding. Cutscene montage of her asking her a million questions for half an hour about how is flossing done in your world. Like, nurse, freaking leave her alone. Yes. Scan complete. She's not sick, so she'll.
This is a Kartek, the traditional Klingon flossing dagger.
That's just a regular dagger. Shut up. Oh, never mind. Hmm. Well, eventually Wartburg probably be let known that she's changed, and if they're are they going to keep her in quarantine for the time being, just in case anything else comes up, like she might develop some other illness or something.
I mean, that's up to the medical staff.
Well, I'll just go along with it for now because that makes sense. So Wolfgang, go back. Right. So, let's start these dark ones. What kind of ships did they use?
That's hard to explain because I've never really seen one before.
Are the dark ones like you? Humanoid in appearance?
Yes. At least that's what the stories I've been told.
Stories? Have you ever encountered these dark ones? Is this a historical fact? Or more a tale told across generations?
More of a it is a historical fact among my people. They came about the creation around the same time as we did. You could think we're the other half of them.
If they detect you aboard this ship, what will they do to us if we refuse to give you over?
It's hard to say, but they are very dangerous.
In what way?
They have similar powers as I do.
That leads to my next question. What powers do you have beyond bestowing memories?
Well, I would love to show you, but I don't want to attract any more attention than I have to. But I will tell you, believe me, I am telepathic in nature. I can sense and hear thoughts. I'm also telekinetic. Telekinetic.
To what extent can these powers be used? Can you use them on just a local scale, just person to person, or at a larger, shall we say, tactical scale, a starship, a city, a planet?
More local end. Though groups of individuals have known to accomplish great feats in that area, especially when it comes to crafting illusions. It's how we tend to avoid outsiders. Would be explorer looking to put up roots. It's our way of being non-violent.
Warburg's gonna go over to a computer and he's gonna call up all known non-classified files on sonic behavior that the Starfleet that the Federation's run into. So probably mostly like the well-known Vulcan stuff and the Andorian other species that are also psychic, Delton, and trying to pull that up. So to kind of give her a list to go, which of these do you have and which one do you not have?
For 2 momentum.
Sure.
Kind of points to, very multiple ones and even the Losians.
The Losians?
Losian, Talos 4 species.
Oh.
Oh, well, that's comforting.
He points it out to the Losians and like, you're sure?
Well, our illusion magic is very similar. Well, I mean, illusionary techniques can be. Though we're not on, maybe, it seems like only one of them can do this. Ours has to be kind of more collective.
So a single individual is not quite as frightening, but a group, say a starship chasing us down across the stars, might be able to craft illusions. Okay.
Who's this Gary Mitchell?
He was a Starfleet officer, a human. We encountered the galactic barrier, the edge of the Milky Way, and he suddenly had strange abilities that were never quite explained, and he unfortunately, that's where a lot of these powers come from, and where most of our research gets more serious. Because until that point, some of these powers were thought of as not possible.
We can do some of that stuff.
If we were, oh goodness, he starts pacing because he's trying to think of a way out of this. If we get to your planet might be able to repel these dark ones, I assume, because you'll be a group of you.
They don't like coming to our world. They were outcast long ago.
Why were they outcast?
So, I mean, it's only been 3 generations, really. When my people first came, they were human, like you. They bestowed found a crystalline entity. This story goes is these crystals, they bond with a human host and create an image in their likeness, creating the Dio 2.
A clone of sorts.
Sort of. I mean, it is physically an exact duplicate, but mentally very different. But the two are intertwined. Most of us chose to use the crystal grants us great power, though others wanted to use it for other means and wish to gain more power, become more stronger, and they were eventually outcasts, and we referred to them as the Dark Ones.
Do you know where their home world is or where their base of operations is? According to, I imagine once you outcast them, you bother searching for them after that.
No, we choose to live a simple life on our planet, learning and crafting new ways with our gifts.
Are your people familiar with warp technology or other faster than light propulsion?
We've heard the term, but we didn't use warp to get there. That's our ancestors. We left Earth in a very primitive craft, and it was swept away by some great unknown force, and they essentially crash landed on our planet on Zostra.
Do you recall the year you left from Earth?
I believe it was 2008. It's a very primitive craft, at least from what I can see on the ship.
You must have encountered the other species, other people.
What others? You've
encountered the Orions, for example. Your planet must have run into other people before.
We didn't. The Tholians came once. I was young then, though. We sent them packing.
You sent them packing?
Yes. That's what my grandfather would say.
Well, all right. If these Dark Ones attacked us, would you be able to muster any defense against them? Even to slow them down?
It's really hard to say. One-on-one, maybe I could fight two of them at once, but...
The shipward's probably too hard, okay. What if... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The energy that we use, they like to devour it and to sustain themselves. Even they attempt to corrupt those who become lost, such as myself.
Like wolves to the lost sheep. Have you ever met other species like the ones I showed you here? Other psychics. Espers.
No, we know of them through...
What I'm thinking, if it comes to it, and hopefully we'll be able to get to we're close enough to your world that we might be able to get there quickly enough. But if not, I propose a plan where there are some people aboard the ship that are of not quite the abilities that you have, but they may be of a type compatible with your ability. They may act as a sort of resonance or an amplifier. I don't know if it'll work because honestly, the kind of scale of power you're talking about, we still don't quite understand. Our understanding of Sonics is, well, to put it politely, it's mythological at best. We have nothing in the Vulcan science. The Vulcans are very new to their encounter as well, to their abilities as well, or more of more of a rebirth, really.
She kind of grabs a hold of the sort of necklace. There's like a little locket on it. She kind of like clutches it, kind of like almost like she's protecting it. I don't know how much help they would be.
Oh, if there's anything I've learned out in space, it's a lot safer working together than it is working. And if even a slightest bit of extra effort can help protect someone in our care, then it's our job to do what we can. I mean, all going well, I may be worrying about nothing. That's part of my job, but I like to prepare in case the things we don't expect end up being the things we should have expected. If you, is there anything else that you think I should? I think, I imagine you overheard. Of course, the captain was curious about what you know, and I'm going to try to tell him as much as we tell him everything you told me, and we'll do what we can to make sure you're as safe as possible. Probably have to stay in this room for the next little while until the doctors are satisfied that there's no other pathogen. But if you're as human as I am, the only thing we have to worry about is any disease you may have carried with you from your home world that we don't have a particular immunity to. Although if you were, I would imagine that would have been communicated on Vezzok. He shrugs. But it never hurts to be cautious.
I'm told I'm in. Well, he always referred to me as more of prime stock, I guess. Degrading.
He'll walk over to the pad like he bites back saying something. One other thing. That necklace you're holding, is it religious in nature?
You can say that.
I know I would say that, but what would you say it was? Personal force field generator, family history.
It's
locket of a hair of your lover.
It's personal nature.
All right. Taps the comm. Wolfgang to the captain.
Haggard here. What have you found out, number one?
I'm setting up a report now. My interview with Miss Althea. In short, though, their abilities are reaching into a realm that we know very little about, and we have not had to. The Federation has developed defenses against. On Appendix A, Addendum A, I've listed a proposal for a possible last-ditch defense, but I don't know if the amplification plan will work because we're reaching into territory that neither she or I have any real charting of. We're working with guesses here. Frankly, it seems the best guess we have is to run as fast as possible, and hopefully we get there before they get to us.
Well, that's what we're doing to the best of our abilities. So, skimming here, these psychokinetic abilities are crystalline based? or come from a crystal or something?
Althea, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it's the crystal bestows the power to you and to this physical clone.
In a way.
So, do you have a kind of crystal growing in you or with you, or?
In other words, do you need to be in contact with the crystal to maintain the ability? Or do the Dark Ones, for that matter, more importantly?
When we accept the bond, it becomes part of us.
Number one, a subspace resonance field tuned to the right frequency might be a viable defense.
You're thinking of disrupting the connection somehow?
Potentially. You know more about such things than I do.
I'll need to speak with the engineering department about that. That goes. I was a chemist, coming up the chain, not a warp field engineer. Theoretically, that's possible, but I need to talk with a specialist on it to give you a better answer, Captain. In theory, it could work, but then again, in theory, transwarp is possible, and we've seen how well that worked out.
Fair enough. But, well, in the meantime, we'll keep flogging the horses, as it were.
And Captain, given her people's lineage, I would request permission to provide her with the Nova Terra protocol. All files on the Federation that she technically is a member of, if she wants to be, along with her people. They have as much right as any other human out here.
I don't have any particular problem with that.
Very good, sir. Doctors are going to be observing for the next little while. I think, out of caution, I should probably stay down here until they've cleared us to leave. But I'll continue working from here. I'm not feeling any illness or anything like that, but
Fair enough. I've got Mira and Trey tracing down references to these dark ones. You might want to get with them and add in your information about crystalline entities and whatnot.
they should be able to pull up the file under Wolfgang Beta 2. That's the file I put it under.
You have that, Mira?
Yes, Captain.
All right, number one. Let me know if you find anything else.
Aye, sir.
Haggard out.
And now to help run a starship from a surgical bay. This will be interesting. Wolfgang to Lieutenant Commander Martel.
Martel here.
Theoretically, hypothetically, if we were to encounter a xenological species that could create sonic resonance across subspace, is it possible that we could change the subspace resonance of our warp field, or even or even warp it in some fashion in a way that could possibly interfere with other subspace sources, primarily from a sonic type or empathic type species, similar to Telosian?
None that I've heard of. I mean, I could always try and do it, but I have no idea what the effect on subspace would be.
Well, write up, do what you can, see about viability, and consider this a possible last resort defense grid. We're possibly going to be attacked by aliens that have abilities similar to Telosians, but we have no real sample of their abilities, and gathering more samples could increase our risk factor. So we're gonna have to work on theoretics and see if it's even something this ship can do.
I
Maybe I
mean,
want to talk
like
to
you
someone
said,
from deflector control as well. I've heard they've added bells and whistles to that thing. I don't know if it can enhance the field, or if it's been upgraded with the latest features that they have back at ESD.
well, like you said, Commander, we're working with theoretical physics here now, so I'm gonna have to probably get in touch with a scientist and see what we can make happen.
Yeah, I can help you from medical. I'm currently under quarantine at the moment, but I could probably scare up somebody, a science team, to assist you. If I look around enough, I might be able to find you a theoretical physicist as well from the lower ranks. I'll try to send them over if I find anyone who I think may be good for cross training with engineering. Put it that way.
Alrighty, Commander.
And unless the captain says otherwise, priority 1, get priority 2 after making sure our engines go as fast as possible. Because whatever it is, ideally we shouldn't fight it. We should outrun it. But better to have a backup plan than not.
True, understandable, Commander. I'll see what I can get started and on the R&D board.
All right, Martel. I'll get back. I'll get back to you once I have more information.
I'll be waiting for your call, Commander.
Wolfgang out. Ah, shoot. Wolfgang to the captain.
Haggard here.
I just realized, sir, we still have civilians aboard, and we're about to be, or we might engage with an unknown enemy. I don't know how we're going, if you've addressed that yet, sir, or not.
I have at least mentioned it to the general, but I don't really see what choice we have. Can't go waste the time to go back and drop them off at Andon's Landing.
We may see about offering them a chance to flee the ship, since we don't know, these Dark Ones may not take too kindly to us assisting someone that they consider their enemy. And if bringing them along, although I think it's the better choice, they may not agree with it. And shanghaiing them along tends to be frowned upon back on Earth.
All right, number 1, I'll talk with the minister.
I would offer to do so for you, sir, but I think it looks bad if I try to talk about it over comm.
Understood.
Good luck, Captain.
Haggard out. Mira, please contact Minister Chephalia and request a meeting with her at her convenience.
Yes, Captain. So, Commander, how long do we wait here for?
20. He looks at a chronometer. 3 hours and 55 minutes. Because technically you have xenological material, and basically everyone in medbay has to be careful in case there's anything that could infect the rest of the ship. So, oh, of course. Gets a pad. He loads it up with a file regarding the United Federation of Planets, basically a welcome to the Federation like packet, and offers it to her. In the meantime, I recommend you spend some of the time reading about the organization I work for and the Federation of Planets I'm a part of. As a human, although your journey predates the forming of the Federation, our laws offer you the opportunity to, of course, rejoin with humanity as you wish, or stay apart independently if that is what you wish. But I think it's only fair that you know what we know.
With all due respect, Commander, I will take this to my people, but I don't think we'll be inclined to join you.
And that's your choice. One of the highest rules that we can't compel a member. You have to join of your own volition. But all this information is yours, your birthright.
Birthright or not, you're not ready for us.
You're not the first people to tell the Federation that. And you're likely correct.
With that, we're gonna jump over to the bridge. Captain, Minister Trephilius, she is on her way up to the bridge.
Thank you, Mira. Mr. Chitray, you have the bridge. I'll kind of wait the minister by the turbolift here. Minister, would you mind joining me in my office?
Of course. You can wait outside.
Can I get you anything to drink? Coffee? Tea?
Tea will be fine.
I make her a tea and myself a coffee. So, appreciate you taking the time to meet with me. We have encountered something of a situation that is requiring us to divert to a system on our charts as the Zostran system, Zostra. The people who live there call themselves the Zoszek. One of Vezzok's slaves was one of these Zoszeks, and we are returning her home because she appears to be in danger from another species that apparently are very powerful and very dangerous, and that might make an attempt on her life or to capture her if they were to find her outside of her home system, which apparently has defenses strong enough to keep them at bay. This potentially places you and the general in an inordinate amount of danger, certainly more than you expected when you joined us aboard the Argo. We can put you on a warp-capable shuttle and let you make your way back to Andon's Landing yourself. I think this might be even more dangerous than staying on board the Argo. But I wanted to advise you of the situation so that you could have the option and could make some choices yourselves. Honestly, we are dealing with entities that we don't really know much about, but that we do know are powerful in ways that the Federation and Starfleet have very little confirmed scientific data or capabilities against.
Well, it seems either way I am in danger.
Potentially. If our luck holds, we make it to this Zoszek homeworld, drop off our passenger, and we're on our merry way. The situation seems to be that if she is not aboard, we are in no particular danger. But potentially, yes.
And this passenger that you've
Hmm?
recklessly taken on board, no offense to her circumstance that she was under, it's horrible for anyone to be in such of a position. But I have to think of the needs of my colony, and you did end a trade negotiation, or at least a trade deal that would benefit my colony greatly. Granted, he was most of scrupulous activities engaged in, and now you're telling me I am in danger to a more hostile species that, frankly, we've never even heard of. Which I'm honestly surprised because we've been here for 100 years and we rarely get anything, even from the Tholians.
Well, there's always a chance we'll meet the Tholians. Where we're headed is near their borders. And this is also an opportunity to contact an unknown civilization. Apparently, their forefathers set out from my home world some 250 years ago on a sublight ship of some sort that somehow was transported this into the galaxy. Look, Minister, the reality of the situation is that you're aboard the most advanced, most powerful starship in Starfleet. Um, but in space, there are entities that we've never encountered. There are entities that we have encountered that, think all of the most advanced Federation technology is nothing but quaint antiquities. Um, I cannot guarantee your safety. I couldn't guarantee your safety from the moment you stepped aboard this ship and we left the planet. What I can do is, and will do, is my absolute best and my crew's absolute best to ensure your safety. And as for trade deals to help Andon's Landing, I still have my crew members looking for more possibilities, different trading partners within a reasonable distance that could supply you with the deuterium and other materials Andon's Landing needs. For all I know, there may even be a possibility of that this meeting with the Zoszeks may lead to different opportunities for trade for Andon's Landing. I just don't know. And if you wish, we will be happy to supply you and the General and your entourage with work-capable shuttlecraft. However, they are much slower than the Argo and obviously much less heavily armed and shielded. Beyond any unknown entities, the piratical and raiding elements in this sector of the galaxy would pose a greater threat to you now, the threat to you aboard such a shuttle, than anything else. But as a head of state for a Federation colony, this could well be an opportunity. Even if trade doesn't come out of this, you could be one of the first to contact a previously unknown civilization, meet a new people, perhaps even forge bonds of friendship that might serve you or your descendants well. This is ultimately why we all come out here to the very edge of things. So while I cannot guarantee can guarantee you at least an opportunity to do something that very, very few people ever get to do, to see things that very, very few people ever get to see. And I again assure you that we will find a supply route and supply source for Andon's Landing that doesn't have the ick factor of this Vezzok character. In fact, as I shared with General Shran, before too long, I expect Vezzok no longer to be control of his resources, and there might actually be a possibility there in the future, but that's indeterminate as yet.
Well, Captain, you have put me in a very odd conundrum. Very well, I will stay on board. Perhaps these Zoszek will become worthy trading partners.
Excellent. I do think that is the best option, Minister. And once we have arrived on orbit, I will be sure to alert you so that you can be on the bridge when we make first contact.
Very well.
In the meanwhile, is there anything that I can do for you?
Not at this time, no.
Very well. Should you need anything, please don't hesitate to call.
Of course. Is that everything, Captain?
That's everything that I had, at least, Minister.
Kind of stands up. I would very much like to meet this individual when it's of appropriate time, Captain.
I'm afraid our doctors are keeping her in under observation for 24 hours to make sure that she's not carrying any pathogens. However, if she's willing, you could communicate with her through the comms in sickbay at any time you'd like. Otherwise, once she has been medically cleared, I'll be sure and invite her to dinner.
Very well.
Thank you, Minister.
And she heads out of.
When the door shut, I leaned forward. Captain's personal log. Supplemental. I'm not sure what Wolfgang owes me for this, but it needs to be big. Click off.
It would help if my mic was not muted.
Generally.
All right. So with that though, we're gonna go to the theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind.
General Strand, the minister, after some time, wanted to meet with you.
Yeah, I'll go to her quarters.
Enter.
You wish to see me, Minister?
Yes, General.
He'll just stand at attention.
While I don't really care for your actions as of late, I am sure that the captain has informed you of our current predicament.
Yes, he's currently rescuing one person.
Rescuing one individual or not, let's just say this trade deal has gone south rather quick.
I have a plan for that, Minister.
You do?
Yes. We were able to gain some insight as to the facilities these pirates have available. And as you're aware, you have certain powers to request the use of some vessels that are in orbit of Andon's Landing, trading vessels in times of emergency. The guard could use those vessels and free all of the slaves and the deuterium.
So what you're saying is we take the deuterium under a guise that we are rescuing, well, helping those in a time of need.
No, I'm suggesting we take over the planet, let the unfortunate have the planet, and I imagine they will be so grateful as to trade with us. There need not be any subterfuge. They'll be grateful, they'll trade with us. They may even trade with us at a good rate for how grateful they'll be.
And how sure that they'll be willing to trade with us?
We're going to give them the most valuable thing they can dream of. I think in response, they'll be willing to give us some shiny rocks. Or at least that's how we're going to phrase it. Not that that's false, but we'll help them see it that way.
Noted, General. I will consider it. We're still currently on course for this Zostra, whatever they call it.
Yes, if there was a way we could get back to Andon's Landing, that would be most advantageous. It wouldn't do to have Starfleet interrupt us once we've started trying to get rid of the pirates. They might be busy for a little while.
Me, command plus presence difficulty of 2.
I'm going to go ahead and spend a determination on I put Andon's Landing's interests before Starfleet's.
Okay.
And persuasion.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take 2 threat for the reroll. Well, I say 2 threat. I don't know whose side I'm on.
Your own.
Yeah. Generally happens in guest starring.
For momentum gain for you.
Oh, I guess I need to. Oh, yeah, I'll draw that real quick. Do I need to give myself threat, or do you need to give me threat?
For
Well, I don't know. I spent threat, so if I'm on my own side, then that shouldn't count against them.
Well, the threat's going to kill both of us either way. It's not going to be.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Threat is the GM's pool usually, unless it's the bad guy. Unless you're fighting for what's attacking us. Which, hey, Dark Ones sounds like they have cool psychic powers.
The
Probably wear black uniforms.
the captain did offer a shuttle to take back to Andon's Landing, a warp shuttle, though it would be slower than taking the Argo. But
Faster than taking the Argo to Zoszek's planet and back.
indeed, it would be. Perhaps you and a couple of the men should go back to Andon's Landing to make sure everything is still in order while I remain on board to negotiate with the Zoszek if need be.
I'll leave the Major with you. Military-civilian relations has always been his forte. Well, at least that's the thing he's good at.
Very well.
Would you inform the captain that we'll be leaving then?
Yes, I will.
I think he likes you much more than he likes me.
That remains to be seen.
Anything else, Minister?
No, General.
He'll bow and leave.
She hits the comm panel. Minister Trefelia to bridge.
Captain Haggard here. How may I help you, mister?
Captain Haggard, General Shran will be departing on one of the warp shuttles. He needs to go back to Endel's Line and attend to some things.
Understood, and if you're sure, Minister.
Yes, I will be remaining on board, though, to continue it as we discussed.
Very good. Will the General be requiring a pilot, or does one of the Andorian Guard, capable?
The General has the adequate manpower, and I believe he is a capable pilot himself.
Excellent. I'll have a shuttle prepped in Shuttle Bay 1.
Thank you, Captain.
Of course, Minister. Haggard out.
FY scene change.
Yeah, I think you lose one there too. Seconds.
Yes, Shran loses one too.
But I just got it.
Welcome to our world.
Feel free to RP real quick. I'll be right back.
Mhm. I love that all the player characters are spread out across the ship.
Yeah, I'll just sit up here and give orders to all the supporting characters all day long. You, look into that. You, look into that.
Yeah,
well,
on a player.
if there's
Oh, go ahead.
if the Tereshkov is any indication, talking to the lizard is always fun.
We don't have any lizard. Oh, yeah, Tusuba. Sorry.
Ah. I thought you were talking about Jim Morrison there for a second.
Just invite Shran up to the bridge. Let him see the security panel. Give him full access,
He's already seen it.
but access.
No, we're kicking him out the back door in a shuttlecraft.
I don't know what Shran would do with it anyways. I don't think he doesn't have. I mean, I guess he has a high security, but with all. Oh, I guess he does have the focus of shipboard tech. I don't know why I gave him that focus. You wouldn't think someone in the guard would have a focus in shipboard tactical systems, as they
Well,
don't have
I mean,
ships anymore.
If he's a pilot and they've got those fighter craft little ships, so.
He has a con of 1.
Oh.
He has a better medicine than con. In fact, his medicine is twice as good as his con.
Wow.
Maybe it's for when he's inspecting a ship that comes into port and he's like, that's neat. So,
ship.
where's your license for for that torpedo launcher in your tactical system? I don't think you can have that. You're under arrest. We're seizing this. I like to think some of the ships are just impounded or seized ships.
How fast did shuttlecraft? What's their maximum warp?
But this era, not much.
Like 2?
It's probably higher than 2.
Look it up. These are types and things. These aren't the Galileos because we're past the Galileo by this point.
Right, but it's like the one right afterwards. I think Prax just kind of statted up himself.
There's the Type 2s. Hold on. We'll be flying.
So what's the maximum warp of the shuttlecraft, Prax?
Type 3s. Ooh, fancy. It's higher than 2.
Warp 4 or 5. They're not very fast.
So we'll say warp 5. They're at least 6 light years away. Plus we've been like traveling at warp 12 or 14 and things, so just let's be short and say 10 light years away. Let's find time. So you're like a month away from home. If we're 10 light years away. 29.22 days at warp 5.
So what you're saying is it's a slow burn.
What I'm saying is the minister just got rid of her one threat to her power.
The Shrans were on a long trip along with the Trephalias. I think he'll manage. So.
Yeah.
You know what's super great about? Oh wait, this thing does have a phaser bank. Oh, I shut my mouth. Never mind. I was gonna say I'm thinking the Galileos still that don't have anything. They're just transport. They're just
Yeah.
ways to get people from ship to ship or ship to planet.
Yeah. The space equivalent of a launch.
Space taxi.
Yeah.
So with that, it's been about more than a day, almost 2 days. Minister Shishran departed. He was only like 6 light years. Like you were pretty much doing a kind of flyby of Andon's Landing.
Okay.
In a way, so he's only got like 6 light years or less to get to Andon's Landing than
No, fair enough.
10 light years. So yeah, it's been kind of 2 days. You have 4 days left to remain to get there. What has everybody been working on in the meantime? Because you're really only traveling at warp 11. Because warp 14 is not sustainable for long periods of time.
Right.
I think me and Martel were working on that theoretical, like basically a way to disrupt any sonic illusions they have with their subspace field. Because really, Titre and Mira, like it's like we can look up the dark ones, but we'll probably get as much as the
Right.
these people have allowed to get outside of their realm.
And Haran is still searching for, looking through the databases and star charts for likely resources.
To save you a bit of trouble, Haran is not able to find any, other than maybe the Tholians, but
right.
For the most part, the colony would be up to the Federation to essentially request their supplies from T1 to Andon's Landing. Would be the only other option, unless they can find a different trade source.
Yeah, well, I think part of the plan there, Haggard, was we were going to, assuming this all didn't go sideways, we were going to chart the path from a new route from Andon's Landing direct to nearest star, cutting through the more uncharted stars on the way back.
Yeah, and I know Haran got that plotted out and laid in last episode. So
yeah.
But that was kind of going to be our way back thing.
Because right now there's no other nearer. I think the nearest member world is Kaisha or the Kaitians.
Right.
And that might be a thing for them to look into. It's like, well, here's a route that we can talk to. Possibly could contact the Cajun world and go, hey, have you guys thought of sending some of your trade ships out this way? There's a colony out here. They would totally trade with you.
Let me
Can
go
we
to the...
can we not establish that there are lots of Caitians going into Andon's Landing?
Um,
Because that there's implications in the future.
That sounds like someone else's problem.
What we do today can change the future, and that's not actually set yet. This is now.
Kaish is 44 to 45 light years from Andon's Landing.
Fleet map, that's what I'm looking for.
Oops, I'm in the wrong darn thing. Fleet map, where is it? There it is. See the full map. Zoom in. Kate, yeah. Only like 2 sectors away from Grazer. They're closer than Andor or Sol or Vulcan.
That's true.
Yeah, like I said, 44 light years away. So.
Oh, they were saying that was a really long way away.
Well, it's
I count number of sectors, not the because the light years. I'm like, huh?
one sector is 20 light years.
Oh, okay. So that may be something Haggard could be doing on the meanwhile, try or getting the minister to do and go like, hey, let's talk to to the Cation governor. Go, hey,
What's the
there's someone out here.
what's the usual cruising speed for trade vessels?
In TNG scale, I would hazard like 4 or 5, like pretty slow, because they don't have all they don't have the cool state of the art warp
Right.
travel that we do.
Warp 6.
Warp 6? Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
They also have a lot less things to power, though, so they would be able to divert more power to just the engine.
That's why they get warp 6. So.
Yeah, so at warp 6, you're looking at 128 and a half days from Kate to Andon's Landing.
That's a lot closer than Andor doing it.
That's true.
Because Andoria is what, 1, 2, 3.
So yeah, that's what the captain will be doing. Is
sorry.
Maybe with the minister talking with well, and I'm sure Kate has
7.
colony worlds as well spread out from it, so there may be some closer than the home world, you know?
Yeah. Because they probably have colony worlds around their surrounding sectors that aren't really mentioned on the fleet map because they can come up.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what the captain will be doing with the minister if she wants to participate, to try and see if we can't set up some regular trade with the Caitians.
Okay. First, though, we're going to start the research project. So, we're going to run this like the scientific method.
Hooray!
I need
And Haggard runs away that exact second. Darn you, Haggard. Sorry,
I'll be
go
right
ahead.
back.
One of you needs to pick a department or discipline for this task to figure out how to create essentially a psionic
Disruptor is basically what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Or interference field. Thinking engineering there off of Martel?
Yeah, either that or science. And then I'm thinking warp field dynamics as a focus.
Yeah. So let's okay, let me check actually.
So let's
can Trey
start.
help you with that? He can.
Okay.
So
we're going engineering.
Yep.
All right. Now you have to pick between 3 to 5 focuses to decide which one will be the correct one to go with.
So we're gonna go with one, but we know we have, which was warp field dynamics, is what you threw out there.
Yes.
Dynamics.
About subspace mechanics, subspace theory.
Subspace theory, yeah. Theory.
Theoretical physics.
Or physics generally, because most of it's theoretical. All the fun stuff's theoretical, I should say. No. I think
Warp field theory, subspace theory.
deflector operations as a fourth, and I think that should be good. Really. I think one of those should get it.
Okay.
Unless anyone else has an idea, those are those four seem to be okay to me. Deflector, I just say, just out of the sheer like how to get the actual thing to do the thing we wanted to do.
Yeah. Crap, I'm blanking on the term. Defensive shield modulation. Defensive, because when you modulate the shields for things.
Yeah.
Would that fall in with deflector dish, I guess?
Shield modulation is probably another thing. It would probably fall under tactical systems. Although it could be shields as well as a outlier, because it doesn't have to be something that's written down.
Right.
But
I mean, being able to, if we could find some sort of shield frequency that the same way and give us defense would be awesome too. So.
Well, I'll just write down shield systems because that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's.
There's probably a better. There's another way to say it.
But yeah.
That's 5, so that should. I don't think we need to make more than that.
Those
but you're the lead. Oh, sorry. Say again.
Are those the 5 you go in with?
Your lead, Martel. What do you think?
I think it makes a good start either way.
Okay.
It is none of these.
If it's none of those, then well, Sonics is 1. I didn't even think to list that. Unified field theory would apply if we're talking about magnetics or gravity or something like that. I can't sell myself on it really. I don't like the sound of it unless someone else likes it, but I said it out loud and then immediately killed it. I'm like, nope.
Quantum resonance?
Quantum mechanics.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe, well, subspace theory should cover subspace harmonics.
Yeah. Let's try this another way. Oops,
Well, we're dealing with something that emanates from some kind of crystal being. I want to get something with harmonics in there.
For that. Well, because harmonics is too general. I would
Yeah.
think. Trying to narrow it down.
Resonance.
Oh, you're thinking with messing with the crystal?
Well, yeah.
If they have crystals aboard, sort of thing.
Or yeah, if it melds with the body, because the right frequency, like in basic physics terms, the right frequency will shatter a crystal.
Right. So geology, I would think, because that will blanket cover a lot of that. Because otherwise, it'd be like something like acoustics, I guess, study of sound. Although we wouldn't.
What about communications theory? I mean, we might broadcast something. Maybe subspace communications, or subspace theory should.
Subspace theory would have caught that, I think. If it was something, it would have to be something we'd have to be able to do on radio or lidar or laser communication.
I will give you that, Stu, that subspace theory would cover that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sonics, quantum mechanics, geology.
EPS won't help us. Yeah, that's the only ones I can think of. Martel, if you have another.
I can't think of anything else either.
That's not a focus. That's just goblet. That's
I
just
know. I was
technobabble.
just seeing that if some of the words that popped up might spark my brain.
Oh, okay. Particle regulation would fall under physics or quantum mechanics or
physics,
unified field theory, maybe. Well, you know what? Just because I want to be
string theory.
Well, that has to do with realities and dimensions, doesn't it?
Well, but it's also part of you've got string theory versus quantum gravity as the basic underlying structure of the universe, and that gets into vibrations along the strings.
Well, who knows? It could be an out of the box. We got 4 at least. No, sorry, 5. Actually, yeah, I think we're good there, Martel. If you're happy with those.
Yeah, sure.
One of these is correct.
Oh, thank God. If it was none of those, I'd be like, okay. It was torpedoes. Just shoot them, you idiots. No. So what focus do you want to chase down, Martel, out of those 5?
I'm thinking we start with psionics.
Yeah.
Wolfgang can't help. He's not enough engineering to be of help.
I think Haggard can help with engineering.
If you have at least 2, you should be okay.
Yeah, I got a 3.
Yeah.
Engineering score 2 or higher, you can assist with this. Shran or Winchester, you feel free to play a supporting character.
Anders is a badass engineer.
Yeah, you can play somebody. Just tell me what to roll.
Well.
Is this control engineering?
This is more like how to create the device. So this is going to be more reason plus engineering.
Oh, not nice.
I'm going to help with Trey, I think. I'm going to check something. I wonder if this helps.
You are literally creating the blueprints for such a device that you think might work. But you have no way of knowing until you test it. And you have nothing to test it against.
Well, sure we do. There's a lady in sickbay.
I was about to say, we've got a prisoner. I mean, passenger.
She's in her own quarters at this point. Quarantine's passed.
Put her in an Eva suit, throw her outside. Tell us if this hurts. What? We all lose reputation? Why?
We could ask her to assist.
Can she assist? Does she have enough engineering to be of help?
Well, she knows a lot about psionics, which is where we're going.
I mean, Wolfgang will ask her because he knows he can't help. He doesn't know enough about engineering.
Oddly enough, she has an engineering score of 2.
She knows more about engineering than he does. God damn it.
Yeah, but you're all Mr. Science.
It's true.
Just for the
And
record,
solving-
she's very general across the board. She doesn't have a 1 in anything. So
Okay.
Oh, generalist.
Miss, I don't have a dump stat. I see.
she does. It's actually 2 stats.
Oh. All right. So you say reason engineering. Okay.
To be
She does
fair,
not have
her
experience.
specialty is more in medicine.
Well, with reason, Haggard's only got a 50-50 chance of helping you, so.
Trey's looking at 15. He's pretty good because his reason's maxed out.
Well, and Anders is
Oops.
should be pretty good. His engineering's maxed out.
This is his 13th activation. He's gonna be rolled on what date? This date. Wow, I haven't used him in a while. Or rolled him. Have I upped anything? I've upped his reason. Have I upped a? Well, I'll worry about that later. Boop. Boop.
So who else is part of this research team?
Anders, Martel. Captain, do some real work and get down here.
Fine.
Unless you can think of a better support character that could be of help.
Actually, Poss and the captain are pretty close. And Poss may have him beat on the engineering score. Where is she?
But with you in the room, you could easily give your determination away.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Poss is rolling 1 better, so.
Do you wish to play Poss there, Winchester?
Or Anders.
Or Anders?
Yeah, I have Anders' sheet open.
So it's these 4. Plus her. Wolfgang will mind the bridge during this time because he's of no help down here.
Miss Athea, pleasure to meet you. I'm Captain Haggard.
Pleasure to meet you, Captain.
I hope your quarters are satisfactory.
Yes. They're far cry better of my my accommodations for the last 10 years.
Haggard kind of winces. Well, let's make sure you never have to live in such distasteful situation again. Thank you very much for your help with this project.
I will endeavor to lend my expertise.
Okay, Martel, I believe you are lead.
So Martel, it is reason engineering. Cannot tell you what the difficulty is.
Yeah.
That is correct.
We have one momentum on the table.
Well, the thing is,
You're bold.
let me check one thing. No, I'm not either. So,
Uh-oh.
so first things first, I'm going to spend my determination on new tech is interesting because I'm building new tech.
Sure.
Now, keep in mind that this might not be the right research path. So we're just kind of rolling for successes until, we either go, well, we've got 14 successes and nothing's happening, so maybe we need to try a different path. So
True, but I also have veterans, so I get to roll a d6 after I roll this.
fair enough.
Besides, we can go through all your values, Captain, as you refill them.
And then I would like to spend
Just
that
wait
one
till
momentum.
Admiral Haggard finds you in the fleet, Admiral Haggard.
And then I would like to spend one momentum and give you 1 threat for a 3rd dice.
All right. I didn't even need to tell you what the complication range was.
Quick question: is the computer assisting with computers or sensors?
No. Oops. Shrieked you accidentally. My bad.
Maybe she has a special talent that lets her roll 2d20 when she's assisting. You don't know. Recent engineering, Anders, help us. Oh no, it's the general. Ah. Actually, that's a pretty good roll.
Counting 6 plus a complication.
You can have rolls from the general, but you can't have his momentum.
Actually, you're counting 8 because determination counts as an automatic too.
That's true.
Okay.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Do not get your determination back.
No, I don't. Bummer.
So that's 8 with no joy yet. So shall we roll again?
Well, I'd say one more time.
At least one more, yeah. Once we break 10, we can start moving on somewhere else.
Which is
What's
why
your
I
call,
tried
Martel?
to strategically set the number at 11.
But they know I run Monday, so.
Technically, you're not supposed to go past 10.
Technically.
Because it's theoretically impossible for one player character to get beyond 10 without
Says
an
you.
assist. Without an assist of some sort.
Actually,
You could get 11 if you have extraordinary attribute or you're a android.
Well, and if you spend your determination for 2 and then roll 5
Okay.
twos, you can
You
get.
can't roll 5 dice
That's
with.
beyond the extraordinary circumstances that surround a player character. There's a reason why it's based. The highest is 10.
Because normal characters are supposed to be able to get it eventually.
Yes.
But anyway. It's up to you, Martel. We can chase down this one and finish it off at 10, or we can go down another.
Yeah, let's finish it off at 10 and then jump ship.
Yeah. And we're probably going to break 10 here with everyone assisting you. So. Oh, no.
I don't know about that.
Trey. Oh. Do you have a thing that lets you reroll stuff? You're not a bullion. You don't get free rerolls. Not free reroll, but ignore a complication.
Just let this Athena character stay on the ship because she's really needed in engineering.
Well, we got 8 the first time around.
Yes.
12 at this point.
Plus 2 complications that are currently stacking up to you guys.
Yeah. Have you been taking them as threat?
No.
Because we get to know that. Okay, cool. That might be actually hindering. That may actually be pulling some of our successes away.
Is this timed? Because if it's not
Well,
timed,
eventually
let's
the
just do-
dark ones will attack or will Zostra. So
It's probably a hidden timer.
let's try one more time then.
With the going down the psionics route.
Oh wait, you said you were pretty convinced that it should be gated at 10, so let's not do that.
all right, so if we're gonna switch, what shall we switch to? That was Sonics, and the 5 that one of them he said would work. We have quantum mechanics, geology, unified field theory, and string theory. I kind of lean toward quantum mechanics,
Do it.
but Martel's call ultimately.
Yep.
I mean, if you guys want to try quantum mechanics, that's fine with me. Because that's one of those that I was thinking. I was also thinking of unified field theory. So
Yeah. If it's not quantum, like the order we have them in is probably is more or less the. Yeah, let's go with quantum. I'd say so as well. I'd suggest that, I should say.
All right. let's see how many complications we can roll this time.
Yeah, Haggard, stop rolling so many comps.
Don't jinx it. I haven't hurt you any up to now.
Prax, take a threat.
Sure.
Or don't, you know. Six. She's been naturally hitting this every bloody time. The man they call
Just
Anders
like
is going to
Anders.
save the day.
Well, Anders wasn't paying attention, so he can't help.
5, 6. That's unfortunate.
One more swing.
One more swing, Martel, or do you want to try another avenue?
Yeah, let's swing once more.
Okay.
Once more into the deep.
You know, the place the quote once more comes from is not a good place to be. I don't think we want to be there.
Once more into the breach, yeah.
Dear friends, or seal up the wall with our English dead. Well, in the end, they do take Harfleur, so, you know. That's right. I've read a book.
I'm talking about the poem. By Tennyson about the charge of the Light Brigade.
Oh, I was thinking once more into the breach from Henry V.
For some reason, I was thinking the Azure episode when he said that.
I count 1, 2, 3. That's
9 total.
9. Taking that as threat or no?
No.
Why the hell did I roll computer science?
Hell if I know.
I think I hit the ship by mistake there.
He did.
Ah, there we go. Finally.
Okay. Oh, that's for Anders. So yes, through quantum mechanics, you find a way to create a quantum resonance frequency to be able to nullify the psychic vibrations that they might generate.
I have it set to roll with a focus, so that's probably not a 2. That's probably a 1.
They're literally like 2 away. The minute Martel and Alea
Okay.
rolled it, it succeeded at that point. It's just there's some complications that need to be resolved here.
Ow, I stubbed my toe.
The toe gets infected. You lose your right leg. Whoa!
Haha, Captain Haggard has a peg leg. Yar. Yar. I be Admiral Haggard. What be ye wandering around in these black uniforms for, Wolfgang?
Wait. Trey wasn't in that, right?
Yeah, he was in there. Get out of there. It's a different person up there. It's this person.
Commander, I'm detecting a vessel on a parallel course on our current trajectory.
Ship identification?
I need reason plus science, difficulty of 3. This is by the ship's sensors plus science.
Nice. Would someone like to roll for Breton? Because Wolfgang's in the room. He's not at the controls. Plus, he's not a good sensor guy. He shouldn't be at the controls.
You said Breton.
Yes.
Rolling what?
Reason plus science, difficulty 3, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science.
Sensor ops.
Yeah.
Take a threat. Sir, the vessel doesn't match any known configurations, and it doesn't even appear to be entirely synthetic. It appears to be a mixture of metallic and organic material.
Do you see any signs of weapons being powered up or shields of any kind?
No momentum and no she can't ask any more questions. No resources.
Possibly spend threat for an extra question there, GM?
I mean, it's your funeral. Sure.
Yeah, one threat, please. So I want to make sure it's not armed and shooting, ready to shoot.
I mean, I think every ship has weapons, except Type 7s.
And Galileos.
I mean, I think Galileos are kind of death traps, so it's kind of a weapon against its own crew. I mean, it's literally just a box with swivel chairs. Not exactly like the best thing to be in space in. I'm not reading any shield activity, but we do see particle weapons in an array-like structure on the hull of the ship. No active power going to those systems, though.
Bridge to the captain.
Go ahead, number one.
Tsuva, sound the yellow alert, please, and have our shields up. Captain, we've encountered a ship that's come alongside us. It's following us. No shields apparently on. It does seem to have some sort of weapons, but they're not powered either. However, it's possible that they may, given their abilities, there may be some illusionary effect going on. But sensors are telling us that they're not ready to shoot, but they're close enough. If they wanted to, they could. No hail from them yet, and I haven't established contact with them. I just called for yellow alert since I don't recognize the ship type. Might not even be our friends. It might be some other alien species that we haven't encountered.
Understood, number one. Are we still in the middle of the research project when this call occurs?
No, you just finished creating the blueprints. You have to build the device.
Okay, yeah, so we're still in the middle.
But you notice that your guest here, she feels like kind of like almost, you can tell like she squints her eyes, like maybe like some sort of sharp pain has entered her mind, and she instantly grabs a hold of her necklace, and you can see as she's grabbing hold, like blue light is emanating from her hand, coming out from her hands. And as she opens her eyes glow blue.
Athea? Are you alright?
They're here.
Haggard to bridge.
Bridge
Red
here.
alert.
Red alert.
Shields up. Get us away from that other ship, number one.
West, as much warp as you can get us away from that ship.
I need Wes to make a daring plus con. So it's by the ship's engines plus con, difficulty of 2. You are traveling at warp, so I need to know what warp factor you're going to. I'm assuming it's maximum warp 14.
Yeah.
I'm calling for 14. I want us away from this thing.
Okay.
It's the captain heading to the bridge.
Yep. What's her difficulty?
2.
Okay. Take a threat. Take a threat for bold. Is this contest increased in difficulty due to environmental or damage to the engines? No.
No.
Right.
The difficulty is you're already at your maximum cruising speed, and she's pretty much hitting the accelerator at, and not, hopefully in such a way that the ship doesn't like fly apart.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right.
We're veering at warp speeds. That is so not healthy for the ship.
Oh yeah, so she's gonna spend her her determination on I really am the best to reroll 2.
Okay. I mean, she could just.
There we go.
2 momentum gained. And the.
Oh, let her roll her
Yes.
untapped potential.
1 challenge.
Is that just 1 challenge die?
Yep.
Well, we both get 1.
And the ship, you could definitely feel the jolt as it accelerates to warp 14. Very hastily. You go down 1 power.
As Haggard runs from the engineering and said, "We need that online as soon as possible, Martel."
Working on it.
13 power.
Let's Tehran try to keep us on course for our original target while keeping up with this evasive action. Breton, anything? Are they following us?
Got some threat out of that.
I think you may have messaged the wrong person.
I thought you were playing Breton.
Oh, sorry. They're matching our course and speed, sir.
Haran, look through the navigational database. See if there's any spatial anomalies out here we can try to shake them off in. If we can't outrun them, we can try to hopefully make their sensors lose track of us. Check also for any pulsars in the areas. Don't want to get anywhere near one, but if that's all we have, that's all we have.
Give me reason plus con assisted by these ships' computers plus con difficulty of 2 for Haran.
Rod under H. Or pilot. There you are. Astronavigation focus.
And increased complication because it's a little bit of a stretch.
Sure. Diff what again? Sorry.
2. You're
2.
essentially creating an advantage for there to be a nebula nearby. To put it in Star Trek terms.
Throwing up a momentum for an extra die because she's cautious. Should do it though. Ship helping?
Computers.
Yeah. Wrong. But that's fine.
2 momentum gained, and yes, there is a Class 4 nebula nearby, about 1 light year away.
All right, Wes, set course for that nebula.
I need Wes to make a daring con. So the ship's engines plus con. Let's make this difficulty of
11, since that's theoretically possible. No.
3.
Okay, 3.
I mean, if she wants to roll 5 dice plus, she could go for a 12 with an assist. So yes, daring con difficulty 3 assisted by the ship's engines plus con.
Sorry, Mike was muted. Take 3 momentum for 4 dice.
1, 2, 3.
No bolt from West?
Oh yeah. So yeah, take 1 threat and 2 momentum. Do it that way. Yeah, for a second I forgot she was bold. All right, everybody, hang on. Roll 1. Let's see if we can get that complication. Nope. Oh well.
Engines con from the ship.
Engines con. Well,
there's the complication.
Sonoma Beach.
Oh.
Well, we've got 2 momentum. And that quashes it.
Darn. Anyway, Wolfgang, you can definitely see on the view screen as the stars line as West navigates the Argo and starts turning it at the high velocity. You can hear the creaking of the hull of the ship as it's just doing emergency maneuvers at high velocities, well beyond
Wherever
its
Haggard is,
specs.
he puts his hand on the nearest bulkhead and goes, "Hold together, girl. You can do it."
Well, the approved impulse drive's getting a workout, that's for sure.
GM Haggard is going to try to create an advantage to hopefully make himself a little bit more difficult to read by mentally reciting over and over again the Gettysburg Address. Just get that going in his head, so that'll be like the surface thoughts.
You're just spending your determination on that.
To create the advantage.
Create the advantage. Because you can technically do that. I just need to know what value.
Spend that determination now. Might not be a bad idea. Yeah, I will do that on the value all warfare based upon deception.
I will take that. There's no roll because you just do it.
Let me roll my veteran.
Hey.
So yes, you go down the corridor as your crew, they're all running to the position, and you're just kind of at times mumble part of the speech, and some of them kind of look like, wait, did he say something? They run off.
Brought forth in this. There's for us to dedicate ourselves.
At this point, I would say you arrive on the bridge. Is your guest staying in main engineering?
I didn't issue any orders otherwise so she's kind of on her own there.
Under red alert status, she's a civvy, so she'd be put somewhere safe, or just so she's one, not in the way, and two, someone's with her in case she gets hurt.
Status report.
Sir, we're currently we're run them so that it kept speed. So I diverted the ship into a nearby nebula, class 4. Right now, I'm gonna grab onto something. Right now, we're currently slaloming our way through it. Hopefully, we can shake our tail. Breton, have we lost them yet? I'm gonna take a seat.
Nice flying west. Haggard will fold down the thigh clamps on the fancy movie era captain's chair.
They're still following us. Sir.
Haran, find us a course for this nebula. Give West real-time updates. Haran has Pathfinder.
Are you attempting to traverse the nebula at warp? Is my question.
As fast as possible, really.
Is that possible?
Push the limits is a thing West might have.
Well, but
it is.
We also maybe want to. I mean, we can get ourselves lost and hard to find theoretically a little better if we slow to impulse. But if they're able to sense us psychically, unless we luck out and the energy emissions from the nebula make that a bit more difficult. I think it's probably pretty dangerous to try and navigate through a nebula at warp speed.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we're traveling very fast in straight lines, more or less, and then having to come to a stop, warp again, come to a stop, warp again. Although, well, that's one. It's either we go through it as fast as we can until eventually we sneak away from them, or we impulse as close as we dare to something with a lot of energy within the nebula and just sit there, and hopefully that covers us. I mean, risks the ship, but that may be just enough to interfere with our whatever it is they're sensing, whether it's our energy signature or our mental bioscience, our biometrics. The ship is rigged better for impulse maneuvers rather than warp maneuvers. We do have the shields, so we could probably tuck real close to something, and hopefully that's enough that we can make them lose sight of us. The proverbial running straight down a corridor and ducking to the side around a corner and having them blow right by us. Problem is, if we're wrong, they'll see us dead on and we're kind of sitting there, and we'll have to start warping away again. Order, sir. We lost. Oh, there he goes.
Oh no. We're going to engineering real quick.
Okay.
What's going on? Martel. The warp core is humming extremely fast.
Oh boy.
And you see your guest, who's got glowing blue eyes, and she's clutching her necklace that seems to be glowing, and she's kind of hunkered down as security's trying to escort her out of engineering. And she's whispering something. And she pulls her hands, close to her mouth.
Can I get close enough to hear what she's saying?
You can.
Just roll like creeping plus security.
Well, I mean, it just depends on your approach. Are you just kind of walking up to see if she's okay, or are you trying to be very coy about things and like you're checking something?
Let's play more like checking to see if she's okay type card.
Okay, there's no check for that. But you walk up to her, and you can hear her. She's whispering, and it's literally a lullaby, as a mother would sing to a child, or a father, or any parent for that matter, to like a baby infant. Well, infant.
Okay.
But you kind of get you definitely feel like the hairs on your skin like kind of stand up, being around her. Give me fitness medicine difficulty of 2.
Give me a second. Computer's being a little slow. I'm gonna roll it on Discord. Or actually, nope, it just. Do I happen to have a focus in this?
No.
I figured. No momentum, so I'm just gonna roll this flat because this is basically a terrible roll for me anyway.
Do you wish to succeed at cost?
Sure, I guess.
you walk up there to try to ease your comfort, and you begin to kind of step back. You're definitely terrified. But you get a hold of yourself as you realize, okay, maybe there's something else going on. I don't need to be afraid of her and whatever she's doing. But because of this, any activity while you're around her, the complication range increases by 1. And that is the complication.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just stick it as something in the back of my mind to talk to her about later, and listening to the warp drive, get started building this quantum mechanical psionic interference device.
That's going to be an extended task. So,
Oh, goody, I love extended tasks with this character.
yeah. This is going to be control plus engineering. No assist from the ship. The work is going to be 18, magnitude 4, resistance of 3, and complication range is 4.
You just had to do that, didn't you?
Increase the complication range to 4?
No. No.
You're not going to one-shot it.
I know.
Not with that attitude. Just got to take the miracle worker talent twice. That's all. They stack.
No.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to go on ahead and give you, I think, 3 threat. You said it was difficulty what?
4.
Difficulty 4. And I don't have a focus on this thing.
Nope.
Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna do a threat dump and roll 5.
Pray you guys don't get into combat. One momentum gained. 7 challenge dice. The just so you were, the complication range goes up to 5 on the next roll.
That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 work.
Right. Difficulty is now 2. Control engineering. And I'll save the threat.
Chicken.
I mean, what's the point? He's just gonna ignore the resistance.
You said complication range is 5?
Yes, complication range is 5.
I'm gonna spend that momentum.
Yeah, totally that stuff never went into fashion in 2015.
Okay, that's so weird.
Really?
Yes, 2 successes, but 2 complications at the same time.
Yeah, you succeed. Technically you're not supposed to be able to do this, but resistance goes all the way up to 7. Roll 7
Okay.
challenge dice.
7 resistance? That's bananas.
I'm going to re-roll 4 with the momentum I gained.
So you're only doing 1 work right now. That's enough that'll complete the task. You managed to create the device, which you have to plug into the deflector dish. Essentially, in theory, this would whatever crystalline structure that they're kind of bonded to would potentially could break it apart and possibly kill them.
Okay, I'm gonna run over to Athea and go, Athea, I need an answer to a very specific question.
Go ahead.
Are you bonded to one of these crystals?
Yes, but it's at home. They're at home.
This device that we just made, it's entirely possible that it could kill you if we have to activate it.
No, you can't do that. Please don't. It's not just me. It will kill. It would. She kind of let go of her hand, and the necklace grows bright blue. You kill her.
I don't want to. That is why I was checking with you. The device is ready to use. All I have to do is plug it into the deflector dish. But I wanted to. You are our guest here. I would never do anything on purpose to harm you.
Please don't use it.
Okay, I won't. And Martel is going to set it to the side, walk over to the wall panel, and go engineering the bridge.
Haggard here. What's your status, Martel?
The device is built and ready to plug into the deflector dish. However, we have a minor issue.
Yes?
If we have to use this, the crystalline entities and any entity they are bonded to could possibly be destroyed, and the entity will die. This includes Athea.
What if we project it against the Dark Ones? Does that put Athea and her people at risk?
I don't know, sir. I'd rather not run the risk at this point. I'm dealing entirely with untested technology.
Understood. See if you can find out from Athea. Haggard out. So is the ship still following us, or?
It's still following us. We were trying to pace it
What?
again in the. Sorry, what?
Sorry, you faded out there. It's still following us, but
It's still essentially hot on your heels.
how far out are we from Zostra?
You got yourself a little extra time, so with the 14 jump, so 2.5 days, maybe 2.
Ugh. Too far out.
And you did a slight detour to
Right.
towards the nebula.
So we're still maneuvering through the nebula, correct?
Yes. You haven't got the nebula yet. You're about to, so because it was a light year away.
Okay. So do we think we want to try and blast through to warp speed or slow down and try and lose ourselves inside it?
We have the ship's prepped with impulse engines rather than warp spec, so we might be just we might just have to slow down and hopefully shake it off at the slower speed. Plus, we have shields that we might be able to get way up close to some of these energy bursts, and we might get lucky and have it blow by.
All right. So take us to impulse into the nebula, West. Haran, find us a path with as much cover as you can. Haggard to Martel.
Martel here.
Could we rig the device up either as a mine or a torpedo? That way we could direct it specifically against the Dark One cruiser, and while keeping Althea out of harm's way. Excuse me. Out of harm's way.
Captain, this device was specifically designed to be attached to our deflector array. If I try to rig anything else real quick, it'll be quick and might not work properly. It would have to be tested after that.
Understood, Mr. Martel.
Captain, if we need a deflector dish of some kind, rather than a torpedo, we might have to we could possibly sacrifice one of the shuttles. Their deflectors aren't nearly as sophisticated as ours, but it's better than the simple nav deflector that they have in the probes.
Fair enough.
I need Wes to make a daring plus con difficulty of 3. This is by these ships' engines plus con. Navigate the nebula.
Can Haran maybe make a pathfinding roll first to maybe reduce West's difficulty?
That'd be reason plus con difficulty 3.
Plotting a course.
Right, but she's got Pathfinder too, which should help her.
Oh yeah, totally. I would think.
Okay, where's Haran? Somebody want to grab Haran real quick?
I'm operating off my phone right now. I'm restarting my computer.
Fair enough. Find her then. She is. There she is. She's doing Reason Con, you said?
Yes, base difficulty of 3.
Pathfinder.
You can lower the difficulty of it.
Right.
Lower the difficulty of the task, or
Yeah, but it makes your complication range go up. So I'll lower it to 2 for a complication increase of 1. Well, now wait a minute.
reduces the difficulty by 1, 2, or 3 for West. Not the difficulty for Iran.
Okay. So, but Haran does have push the limit, so can she use that to bring hers down to 2?
I mean,
when you attempt to con tasks that is increased in difficulty due to environmental conditions or damage to the engine.
this is plotting a course.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
She might be the same person who does the plot and fly it. Like instead of West doing it, it's like, oh, maybe you should do it.
Well, Wes has got push limits too.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, but Haran can.
Well, with Pathfinder, she's great at plotting courses. Like that's totally her bag.
Yeah, so I can increase the complication range by 1 and decrease the task by 1 for plotting a course. I don't want to increase the difficulty any more than that. And we do not have any momentum.
No, you do not.
So I'll give you threat for a 3rd die. Maybe we can get some. Difficulty 2, comp 2, reason con. It's just about the ship's engines con.
No, computers con.
Oh, she does not get it.
Nope. So this will be a daring plus in cons by the ship's engines plus con for West, difficulty of 2. This is Pathfinder will kick in. Pathfinder push limits.
Right.
Could Haran have determination that?
That's true. She does have determination. Yeah, she'll spend her determination on the value I know a shortcut to reroll 2.
Okay. Oh, ouch.
Hackers.
Double complications. Also, she does have push. She has technical expertise, so she can reroll the ship.
Right.
Or one of those dies, I believe.
Let's reroll one of those complications at
Hold on,
least.
I'm double checking that though. Yeah, okay, it could be one of the complications or the ship.
Okay, let's do one of the complications. It's just what it is, I think, guys.
I'm glad you didn't roll like this yesterday, but I will take one of those as threat. And I'm going to increase the difficulty up by 1, so it's difficulty 3, daring con, for West to navigate through this very heavy pocket of the ion storm that's inside this nebula. Or, well, kind of like an ion storm.
Fair enough. So she will give you 3 threat for 4 dice, and to activate bold.
Engines con for the ship. She really is the best.
Yep. She's a Prax helmswoman.
4 momentum gain. Or sorry.
Woo-hoo!
As Wes starts going by what Haran gave her, and she then looks over to Haran and she quickly judges, like, you sent me the wrong coordinates.
Sorry.
And I need to roll for them. 2 additional momentum was gained.
Capped.
This isn't fun for them because it's a difficulty 4.
From those honored dead, we take increased devotion to the cause for which they give last much of devotion. We hereby resolve these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall. Wow, they're pretty fancy.
They're getting closer, sir.
Mr. Martell, do you have a way to protect our guest?
There we
Just
go.
a second, sir. Give me 5 seconds and I got it.
As soon as you do, get the device hooked up to the deflector.
Okay.
You're essentially making a Faraday cage.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so I have to put her in there and... Okay. So I'm going to turn to Athea and go, Athea, I figured it out. Please, come with me. And head to Shuttle Bay 1 or 2 or whichever one still has a shuttle.
She stands up and starts walking, and as you guys exit, one of the consoles nearby just explode. Sorry, I'm trying to hold her back.
I know. I can understand that. But please, follow me. And passing past Anders, I'm guessing I can hand him the device and say, plug this into the deflector array and wait for my signal.
Hi, sir. On the bridge, as the Anders is going to deflector control and Martell going to the shuttlecraft. What are you doing on the bridge?
Have we lost them?
Breton said they were getting closer.
It's possible they're following. They're just following our wake, trying to.
Or our psychic residue, which we can't do much about. Unless we can maybe put some sort of energy discharge between them and us. Okay, it's not direct that I want here. I think it's is it creating an advantage, or can I do an assist by saying something like, Wes, take us around that hydrogen cloud Zuva fire rearward phasers to ignite it.
Oh, that sounds like an advantage creation to me.
To what you wish to.
What I'm trying to do is put something between us and the enemy ship that we can somehow cause a static charge to go off, ignite some hydrogen, something like that, and to use to kind of use either create an advantage or to assist whoever by giving the orders to do that, and thereby giving us a better chance of success.
Essentially, you're wishing to create a blockade, increasing their difficulty by 1 to follow you.
Sure, yeah.
Kind of what I'm thinking. At least mechanic wise, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do that.
Because I know I can't really direct because we're not in combat.
You can kind of. It's kind of. Essentially, what you could do is you could do. It would be a difficulty 2 presence plus command, and you're essentially ordering Tsuva to create that advantage for you.
Okay.
It's not really direct. You're creating the advantage.
Okay. That works. Have a threat for bold. And strategy and tactics as a focus.
Yeah.
Sure.
Command. Here we go.
1 momentum gained, and the Zuva fires the ship's phaser, creating a hydrogen explosion. The ship definitely rocks and shakes from the explosion as you're trying to run through the nebula. I need, at this point, Wes to give me a daring. This will be opposed. Daring plus con. This is by the ship's engines plus con.
I guess I definitely have a threat for the third die to activate bold, and then 1 float. So
The 1 float, it went away.
So. Okay. So then I'm tempted to spend 5 to roll 5 since it's going to be opposed. So yeah, I'm going to spend 5 momentum on top of that threat.
This will cost 1 power. Ship.
Okay. It's going to be engines con. Okay, let me mark down the power there to 12. Here's West's roll. She can re-roll that 1 0. Okay. And then the ship. Seven.
Total of 8, so difficulty is 8 for me to beat.
Oh, and I think she gets to roll.
Yep.
Keep forgetting to roll her untapped potential.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well, this brings us back up to 2 momentum.
So, yeah, 5 momentum was spent, but let's see what they get because it is opposed. So you get 2 momentum back because they only got 6.
Nice flying, West.
And you managed to push some more distance away from them as they had to dodge the essentially massive explosion in the nebula. But they are still on your sensors.
Fair enough. We bought ourselves a little bit of time anyway.
They've just scanned us, sir.
That was before that, so
Ah.
it's fine.
Haggard to Martell, whatever you're doing, do it now. I need that weapon.
Martel, you and Thea get to the shuttle bay, and you enter one of the shuttles as she kind of takes a seat, still kind of chanting, and I actually need to roll for her. Would you guys like to give Thea a momentum?
Yes.
I said,
It's not the dark ones, by the way.
or is she?
Dun dun dun.
Oh. So that is 4. So you guys gain 2 momentum. And Martel, you kind of noticed that the whatever in her necklace, the glowing subsides. And I need you, so to rig this up properly, daring plus engineering, difficulty 2.
Would I just so happen to have a focus in improvisation?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
And let me go on ahead and spend 1 momentum.
You sounded like you were going to spend way more than that for a second.
Stiff 2, daring engineering.
I was debating it. Yeah, let me go on ahead and quash that comp with the 2 I gain.
Boop.
All right.
Boop. I'll take this back.
I did need Anders to plug in, so this is going to be the device into the deflector dish. Let's make this control plus engineering, difficulty of 4.
Determination and get the job done.
For Anders? Yeah,
Yep.
I'll take that.
Yeah, Andrews is maxed out. He's pretty much a player character at this point.
Can't hint.
There is guidelines for a supporting character becoming a player character.
Oops.
Take 2 momentum for cautious. And a focus in... Oh, nothing actually.
He had to have deflector operations, so.
Yeah, he doesn't have that.
He got 1 momentum gained. And the device hums to life.
I'm kind of waiting on Anders right now.
2 threat.
Okay. So Martel's gonna Martel to Anders.
Anders here.
Is that device in?
It's hooked up.
Good. Hold on a second. I'm gonna conference in the bridge. Martel the bridge.
Haggard here. Give me some good news.
We're good to go.
Oh, hold on. Do I have to be in the room when it goes off? Oh. He's gonna
It shouldn't affect you.
leave the room.
Captain. The vessel, it's closing in. It's nearly in long range.
Understood. Mr. Martel, what's the range on this thing?
You want my personal opinion, sir? The closer they get, the better.
Understood. Lieutenant West. Pitch down, 180-degree turn. Basically, what I'm ordering is the ship's bow pitches down, and we keep going till we come around, flying upside down from the perspective of our previous orientation. Basically, so that instead of chasing up our tailpipes, they're chasing into our forward deflector array.
So pitch down and then roll 180 degrees.
Yeah, downward roll to 180-degree orientation. Yeah.
Give me daring plus con difficulty of 2. Base is 3.
What is 3?
The base is 3 for this roll because she has pushed the limits. So it's difficulty 2, daring con, assisted by the ship's engines plus con.
She'll give you a threat for bold. Oops. Engines con. There we go. So we'll use the 2 that we gained to quash that complication.
Spent the momentum. All right. West maneuvers, positions the ship. The ship gets into close range. You lose 1 power. They get to go next. Question for you, Martel. Did you activate the shields on the shuttle?
Yes.
They may not get this, but Martel, you noticed that something was trying. You noticed like the sound of a transporter, and you can see that they were attempting to lock on to Athea, and were unsuccessful. It is back to you guys.
All right. Now we're in combat. Mr. Tezuva, fire the device. That'll be a direct.
Okay. Guess it's just like firing weapons. Control security assisted by these ships' weapons plus security difficulty of 3. Actually, because the nebula it'd be difficulty of 4.
Oh, I want to grab Tezuva.
Yeah, I got it. Let's roll.
Diff 4, control plus security. This is by the ship weapons plus security. It's a perfect time for Rayburn to be absent. You know, he gets to do security things.
Targeting systems.
I'm gonna say no.
Ship engagement tactics.
Yeah, no.
Does Tezuva have values and determination yet?
He has fearless in combat.
Now might be the time.
Would you accept that, GM?
Sure.
Take 2 threat.
Here's Haggard's assist for the direct.
Structure, security. So you're flying a deflector, so it wouldn't be weapons.
Structure security. Gotcha. Same roll. No whammies.
1 momentum gained. The Argo fires its deflector array in a nice beam, and it kind of pulses out, and the pulses go through the ship itself. It strikes the enemy ship, and after you continue pressing the beam, I need to know how much power you're spending on this.
Let's see. Currently we are at 11. I say we spend 5.
Yeah, sounds good.
Spending 5 power, which will bring us down to a total of 6 power.
Roll for me 12 challenge dice, please.
Can we spend them in momentum to reroll those 3?
Yeah.
Counting 15.
It's vicious 1. So it should be
20.
20.
That's not unimpressive.
Oh, this is not good for them. You fire a deflector beam. As the deflector beam went into the view screen, you can see this odd looking shape of a ship. As it slowly just starts breaking apart.
What do you think? Number one, should we attempt to rescue survivors?
The beings are possibly, as a group, are still dangerous.
Agreed. Get us out of here, Lieutenant West. Let's course back to Zostra.
As you do that, the enemy vessel explodes. You take 1, 2, 3, 7. Extremely unimpressive. Why not? Make it a flat 10. I believe that's 4 to your shields. Or no, 5. So that's a breach. Do structure. Well, no important characters are injured. The vessel, which you presume to be the Dark Ones, their vessel explodes right in front of you, and the shockwave damages several key not damages you the hull of your vessel as sparks and consoles explode. West needs to make a daring plus con difficulty of 3 to get out. Sorry, difficulty 2. One momentum was gained. Engines plus con. Sorry. 2 momentum. Complication. You gonna spend that 2 momentum to quash that?
Yeah, sorry, I had my mic muted.
And the Argo maneuvers out of the nebula.
And route damage control teams to the breach. Haggard to Martell. How is Athea?
1 second, sir. I'll check right now.
And as you look at her, you can tell she's kind of calmed down, but you can definitely see tears in her eyes. So many dead.
Is everything all right, Athea?
Yes.
All right. Everything appears to be fine, sir. We appear to be in the clear down here.
Understood. Well done, Mr. Martell. We've sustained minor damage to the hull. If you could route some teams, I'd be appreciative.
I'll get right to work on it, sir. And if possible, I'd like to make a uh, in the process, I'd like to make a damage repair roll, if necessary.
Presence plus engineering difficulty of 3. Yeah, daring. If you do it yourself, you get to do the you have to do the order. So yeah, presence plus engineering for your talent.
Yeah, huh. I'm gonna spend the momentum and give you 2 threat.
Keep in mind you have to have momentum to actually use the talent.
Yes, I am tracking. I'm trying to get momentum as well, because we only had 1.
Difficulty was 3, so it's 1 momentum.
Okay, that's about all I can do.
Essentially, you managed to seal off the breach area. It's not fully repaired yet. You have to either go to a dry dock or attempt at it again. So
I'll just leave it be for now.
all right, what are you guys doing next?
Well, with the ship destroyed, sir, I think we should make way to the planet before reinforcements come to find out what happened to their ship. Captain?
Sorry, muted. Get us back on course for Zostra, Lieutenant.
Aye, sir. we go down you go down one momentum as we go to the next scene. Several days, the next 2 days have passed as you enter the Zostra system along the Tholian border.
Open hailing frequencies, Lieutenant Mira. And before you do that, ask, inform Minister Trefalia that we have arrived in the Zostra system, and ask her if she would like to come to the bridge for our first contact. And inform Miss Athea that we are at Zostra. Minister.
Captain?
Miss Athea, we've almost got you home. Lieutenant Mira, open hailing frequencies.
As Tamira nods, the hailing frequency is open, Captain.
This is Captain Ulysses Haggard of the Federation starship Argo. Calling the Zoszek system. We have come in peace to return one of your citizens to you.
Essentially, yes. On in front of all of you, near as the star background, an individual fades into appearance, staying above the bridge. Welcome.
My thanks. I presume you're one of the Zoszeks?
Yes. It's good to see you again, Athelia. We thought you were gone. She kind of bows her head. These kind individuals helped me get back home. They rescued me from the Orions.
Yes, unfortunately, on our way back, I'm afraid we had an encounter with the people you call the Dark Ones. Unfortunately, we had to destroy their ship, and I'm afraid, from what we could tell anyway, there were no survivors.
Yes, we felt the destruction of the vessel.
May I introduce Minister Sito Cefalia of the colony of Andon's Landing?
Greetings. On behalf of Andon's Landing, I greet you in friendship. She just kind of looks, tilts her head at Trefalia. I'm sorry, we do not have anything to offer you. But I haven't spoken. It's like, you misunderstand. We have no valuables to give to you for you to.
Haggard has a slight smirk.
Knowledge in itself is valuable. Friendship.
trade, offer you many things. Perhaps you have raw materials that our colony desperately needs that you might have abundance of. No, Minister, as I am trying to be polite, we do not have anything to offer you, nor you are not welcome on my planet.
A shame. I had hoped to learn more about your people and your civilization.
Perhaps in time, Captain, we are grateful to you for rescuing one of our own and for not allowing her to fall in the hands of the Dark Ones.
Well, we do not force our company or our presence on species who do not wish to open up relations. I'm happy we were able to help, and should you ever need our assistance again, please do not hesitate to call. Uh, the Federation and Starfleet always stands ready to assist. I believe Althea has been given, as a descendant of Earth humans, uh, access to our full database of our current history, galactopolitical situations, Federation technology, and so on. If there is anything there that your people might be in need of, please feel free to contact us. If not, well, I look forward to the time when our two peoples meet again.
Perhaps someday, but today is not the day. We would prefer to have our existence in isolation until you're ready.
Understood. I will not mention. I will seal these logs for, say, 500 years.
If you so desire, I just ask you not to tell of people of this place. We find that when outsiders know of us, that hindering memories is troublesome. It's better to ask them politely than to take.
Understood. Well, number one, it looks like our search for a source of supply for Andon's Landing has turned up nothing in this sector since there was nothing here to see. I guess we'll move on to the next one and see what we find there.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Your
Commander Wolfgang.
Althea opened or something in me. I have memories now, but I don't understand where they're from. Do you know?
Memories. She peered into your mind. Perhaps the reason why she. In any case, you have experienced multiple realities. You are open to this because of it appears you were in contact of some other being. Perhaps your kind is, well, are closer to us than you realize.
Is it just Commander Wolfgang, or did we all experience these other realities and are just unable to remember it?
Everyone else was here as well.
Reality is what we make of it, Commander and Captain.
And for all the world is an illusion, therefore nothing can be certain. I always hated philosophy class.
Don't get all zen on me, number one, or I'll come over there and pinch you. Very well then. It was a pleasure to meet you. And one day, if not me, then perhaps one of my descendants will have the same pleasure.
Perhaps. She gives a slight bow. If you give me a moment, madam. She kind of nods. Thank you, Wolfgang, for everything you've done for me.
No, don't worry about it. It's my job to do that sort of thing. It wasn't just me, it was everyone aboard. I did what any good officer would have done.
Perhaps. Until we meet again, Captain. And
Calm seas and safe journeys.
And the two literally just walk through the view screen and vanish.
Well, not terrible as first contact situations go. Lieutenant Haran, plot a course back to Andon's Landing. Lieutenant West, normal cruising speed.
Well, that was a waste of time.
First contact is never a waste of time, Minister. You've seen what most of us spend our entire career seeking out.
It's like
The fact you didn't get material gains has nothing to do with us wasting time saving lives.
Easy, number one.
Sorry.
Very well. Though it was rather...
Look at it this way, Minister. We still have the Cations to talk to. And as Commander von Wartburg puts it, somewhat indelicately, I'll admit, you did have an opportunity to meet a species that is completely unknown in Federation space. And now you have a very serious oath to uphold to keep their location and their existence secret.
Oh, the burdens of higher office.
This is a particular burden one should take very seriously. And I would remind you that you're as bound by Federation protocols as we are, Minister.
Of course, I'll be in my cabin, Captain, if that's all right with you.
Of course, Minister. But yeah, I do want to try and contact the Cation, see if we can't work out a supply route from them to Andon's Landing. When we continue.